it's KelseeBrianaJai here with another installment of Pounds KBJPA, which stands for KelseeBrianaJai Palette Attack, where I'm giving you the breakdown on all the eyeshadow palettes that I own in my life. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on Urban Decay's Electric Palette, which is a really fun and bright eyeshadow palette. And so I used this palette to do this look on my eyes today. This palette is really cool because it is a pressed pigment palette. This palette contains 10 pressed pigments. Each color is super extra deliciously pigmented and rich. What the colors look like in the palette, that's what they look like translated on the eyes. I did not have a hard time getting these colors to be vibrant on my eyes at all, as you will see in the video. I got this palette from Sephora some time ago. I've had this palette probably since it first came out, which I feel like I've had it a year and a half at this point, which is shame on me that I haven't been using it more in videos, but this palette is amazing. I love this palette and I think that you should go check it out. And this is a pressed pigment palette, so if you're an artist, you may want to use this for other things other than eyeshadow, but for most people you're using it for eyeshadow. So I want to go over the 4 shades that Urban Decay says are not safe for eyes, and that one is Slow Burn, which is the orange one, Savage, which is, let's see, where is Savage, which is the pink one, Jilted, which is this really pretty how do I describe this, mid-tone purple with like blue iridescent sparkles in it. And then Urban, let's see, where are you, Urban, which is this really pretty purple. They said that these eyeshadows, those 4 eyeshadows, are not safe for the eyelid. I put them on my eyelid, but if something happens to your eyelid and you put it on them, you cannot go back and sue them and say, oh my god, my eyelid fell off, because they told you not to put it on your eyes. Some people are super sensitive to the red dye that's found in a lot of like red eyeshadows, purple eyeshadows, pink eyeshadows, so just be aware of that. And I would test it out first to see if you're allergic, and if you know you're allergic to red dye, then don't even try it. But these eyeshadows are super smooth and buttery. I mean, they just apply like a dream when you put them on your eyelid, and they're so easy to blend out. I used a few different brushes in this look just because I didn't want the look to get muddy, since I use so many different colors. But honestly, like, you're fine if you just put one and blend it out. Like, this palette is really good for people who love color. Now, if you're one of those people who just normally wear neutral eyeshadows, then cool, get this palette and then like use this palette for like pops of colors. So if you want to color on the inner corner with your neutrals, if you want to like smudge a color on the lower lash line with your neutrals, you can do that. So don't think just because you don't wear all these colors like this in a look you will wear, don't think that you can't get any use out of this palette, because you can. So this palette is $49. I've seen Urban Decay in so many different retailers. I've seen Urban Decay on Sephora.com. I've seen Urban Decay, I want to say I've seen it at Dillard's.com if I'm not mistaken. Macy's, I believe, carries it. Obviously Nordstrom carries it. Ulta, besides Sephora, yeah, Ulta carries Urban Decay. Also, let's see who carries Urban Decay. Like, you can find it if you go also UrbanDecay.com, duh. And if you're a professional makeup artist, then you can apply to get their professional makeup artistry discount, which this works on the discount. So that's, you could be eligible to enroll in their artistry program, where you would be able to get this palette with the discount. And this is a really good palette to put in your kit as well, because the colors are really intense, so you kind of have to have a really light hand with this. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. But yeah, other than that, I love the eyeshadow palette. It's $49. I think that's an incredible value. It comes with 10 different eyeshadows, so that makes it a little bit under $5 an eyeshadow. Let me get the exact number. Divided by 10. That makes it $4.90 an eyeshadow. And for eyeshadows this pigmented, this palette comes with this really nice brush too. And I use this brush a lot because of this really tiny detailed brush that you're able to use. Is dual-sided, and then this one's a really nice flat shader brush. So I use this brush a lot. It came with it, and I've used it ever since I've gotten it. I might not use this palette every day, but I use this brush quite a lot. So I just want to throw in that fun fact. So if you're interested in the look that I have on, stay tuned and I will show you guys which colors I use and the placement and the brushes and all that good stuff on how I use this palette to create this look. So enjoy. So for my eyes, I just did my eyebrows, and so I'm going to conceal them just because I'm going to use that concealer as our highlighter, since I'm not going to use any shades from the palette as my underbrow highlighter. And with two MAC concealer palettes, these are the Studio Finish concealer palettes. I'm taking medium first. I'm going to take a 212 brush by MAC, which is this flat brush here, and this lightest shade. I'm going to take that and clean up the bottom. And this is also going to give us a nice little highlight. As for my foundation, I have on the NARS Sheer Glow, and I primed my face with Smashbox Primer Water, which I really like this stuff. Take the medium deep palette and take this lightest shade right here and kind of mix it with this one. Just kind of go back and forth, it's fine. And then conceal the top. I don't always conceal the top, just when I feel like I need to do my eyebrows and I haven't. So since I'm not going to use another eyeshadow, I'm going to take my powder for my face. This is a Care Blend powder, medium dark, and a concealer brush. And I'm going to set this concealer by just running a little bit of that powder over it. Pretty much how you do ghetto girl eyebrows without it looking crazy. I'm going to prep my eyes using Painterly paint pots, and this is a beige color, and this is the same. This is a Pro Concealer brush by Sephora. They have black candles now. Mine has a silver because it's super old. They discontinued this style. So now moving on to the electric palette. Thumbs up if you clean up as you go. Okay, so here's the palette. So colorful, so colorful. So we're about to have fun, right? So to start, I'm going to take this lime green color right here, and this is called Thrash, and I'm going in with the Duo Fiber brush by MAC. This brush is because it has natural hair and synthetic hair, so it's going to diffuse the product because these are pressed pigments, so you want to have a very light hand when you use them. So I'm going to gently dip the brush, and just dipping the brush you can see how much is on there. So I'm tapping off pretty much all that, okay? And then with the lightest hand, I'm going to put this right above my crease, back and forth. And you can always add and intensify, but it's going to be hard if you put a lot of this at first to blend it out, because remember, these are not just eyeshadows. These are pressed pigments. Back and forth. It's easier to build than it is to apply a lot and then try to take it away. Right underneath that green, I'm going to take this color, which is Gonzo, and that's a really pretty loud blue brush. I'm going to, again, like lightly dip it in there, like really lightly tap it, just like that kind of tap. And then I'm going to go right in the crease with that blue. And so you can kind of layer it on top of that green if you want, like at the very tail end of that green, but make sure you're not covering up all of the green. Make sure you tap off that excess, because if not, girl, you'll be cleaning all that up off your face. Right in the crease, so right where that green ends, start to buff this color right underneath it, and then if you place it at the very tail end of the green, it blends it together, but we're not covering up the green. So now I'm going in with the 242 brush because it's synthetic, and synthetic brushes are really good. It won't focus. Synthetic brushes are really good for picking up pigments and laying it down flat. Right on the inner corner, I'm going to take this silver right here, and this silver is called Revolt. I'm going to pat it on the inner corner. And then I'm going to blend it a little bit into the lid, so not too far. So right where my pupil starts, I'm pretty much not even going that far. So then just blend it. Okay. The pink, and the pink is called Savage, and I'm going to take that same 242 brush and really get it on there right here. And you may have to go back and pick up more color. That's okay. So I'm tapping it right next to where I laid that silver. And I'm just placing this in this little bitty, let me take a clean blender brush. I'm placing this in this little bitty area. That's pretty much as far as I'm going to go with that. And then I'm taking a clean blending brush and just making sure all the colors are still blended together. So right where that silver was, and then about right here is where I'm going to stop with this. Now I'm going to go in with this purple, and this one is Urban, and I'm going to take a 247 brush. Same concept, but it's a little bit bigger, so I have to be more careful since my other 242 is dirty and I don't feel like getting up and cleaning either one. So with this purple shade, I'm going to pat that right next to the pink. Actually, I don't even want to use the brush. I'm gonna just use the 242 and just pat it. It'll be all right. And patting that on that pink, just like a little bit more of that green since I lost it slightly, and blend over in my crease the very first color that we put down. On the very outer edge, I'm going to take Chaos, which was a pretty color that was in the original Vice palette, which I have that. Oh my god, that's hot. And go back and blend it. That sure is pretty. So now I'm going to backtrack because I want all the colors to blend seamlessly. So I'm going to go back with the purple. This is just a clean 239 that I had available since I need to wash my brushes. And this is a 221 brush by MAC. And I'm just going to re-intensify that right on the inner corner. I'm just placing it on the inner corner and then just blending it up slightly. Just like that. So for concealer, I'm going to take Biscuit by NARS. And I want a lot of concealer today. Now, since I have that concealer on, I want to intensify, so I'm adding a lighter concealer for a highlight. This one is the same concealer, but this one is Biscuit. So it's a little bit lighter. So I'm going to highlight honey. Okay. For the rest of my face, I'm going to set it using MAC's Care Blend powder in medium dark, and this is a Chanel powder brush. So I'm just going to press this powder all over my face. Eyeliner, I'm just using a little bit of black eyeliner. This is a gel eyeliner by Inglot, and this is in the color number 77. So I'm not going to line from here to here. I'm going to kind of start where my lashes are and do a really little bitty line, because I don't want to cover up any of the color. I just want to define my eyes a little bit. So I'll be right back. I also want to show you my lashes in the package. These are number 38 by Red Cherry. So I'm going to apply these, and then I'll give my eyes some time to recuperate since they're being crybabies. And I'm going to finish the rest of my face. So you tuck my hair on, and I'm going in with my trusty dusty shade and light palette to contour and highlight. And today I'm using Sculpt and my NARS Ita brush, and getting the products on my brush, and then I'm going to sculpt out my cheek. Okay, so nose, I'm going to take Bone Beige. Alright, so for a highlighter, I'm going to go in with Emphasize on my nose. And so for my cheeks, I'm going to take Light Sweep, which is pretty much my favorite, with the 137 brush by MAC. And I'm just going to place that right there for a really natural highlight. And then for cheeks, I'm going to go in with an old favorite of mine. This one is Flower Power or Flower Power, however you want to say it. On the bottom, oh, you see a little water. I have the most difficult eyes. Alright, so on the bottom, I'm really scared to do this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. On the bottom, I'm going to go in with this purple right here. And I'm going to use the brush that came with the actual that came with this eyeshadow palette, which is this dual-sided brush. It comes with this side, and then it comes with this side. So I'm going to take the little bitty baby side and go into Urban and smudge that on the bottom. So I'm going to stop about right there with Urban. So then I'm going to put it on the other side. So now I'm going to go back with Gonzo, and that's this bright blue, and pack that right next to that purple. Pink, which is Savage. Make sure you blend it. Very inner corner, I'm going back with this silver, and this one is called Revolt. And I actually don't want that pink down there, so I think I'm going to put the silver on top of the pink. So now I'm going back and smudging this with a 214 brush by MAC. Just the very bottom part, just to blend it. The very, like right underneath it. And that just kind of blends it. So just going right at the edge at the bottom and blending it. Pray for me, y'all. In the waterline, I'm going to place Process Magenta. Okay. Go eyes, go eyes. You didn't mess up, you didn't mess up. So for lips, I'm going to take Strip Down Lip Liner by MAC. Super neutral brown. And then I'm going to take a sparkly lip gloss. This one was limited edition from the Lorac Aquatic collection. This one is called Clearwater. Ooh, 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 ooh. Take whatever sparkly gloss you have. It doesn't really matter. It's just clear with some pink, y'all. So this is the finished look. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you've worked with the Urban Decay Electric Palette, and let me know if you try out this look, if you have the palette and you're struggling to find different ways to use it. Let me know, and also tag me on different looks you may have done with the palette in the past. At KelseeBrianaJai is my Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope that you guys are enjoying pound KBJPA, KelseeBrianaJai Palette Week, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Smooches!